Hello and welcome back to the Luton Town Tactical View Only Career Mode. It is January, as of tomorrow in game, therefore transfers. People will arrive, people will leave, money will be made, money will be spent. It's also the beginning of the FA Cup, so do expect at some point very soon for our manager approval rating to go down dramatically because they do overemphasize that still. That's the thing that's been in career mode for a long while and it's still a problem. But once again, admin time. So with everything that's going on outside of this, last episode I said I would build up a bank of videos to record. I then promptly got ill. No breaks have been had, which means there isn't a bank of these recorded as of yet, but should still be on schedule for Friday. And also it has, ironically, given me the time to then play through Formula 1 a little bit. So there might be a Formula 1 video on Monday now because I should be able to get to the end of the season by the point at which I would want to record that. So good news, F1 fans. My illness has actually helped you. Silver linings. But anyway, let's not faff around. There's probably a lot to do here. The first thing I need to do is actually just advance one day and get our January the 1st pre-contract signings in. And speak of the Devils. That I believe is Kai Wagner. Middlesbrough want Matt Tremblay on loan. Now I rejected Tigra in wherever that is because that's not Tigres in Mexico because obviously that doesn't exist anymore. Hence all our Mexican signings that are free agents as a result of the Mexican excision. Middlesbrough is definitely one. It's loan to buy. Obviously, that's not a thing that's happening. I don't know that. I still don't know the answer to this, by the way, but interesting valuation on this 15-year-old goalkeeper. I'm often just to sign him off the back of that alone. Couple of interesting English 17-year-olds as well. Get straight in. I can see why it was 500,000. 58 overall rated at 15 is quite strong. In fact, the highest in the academy at the moment with the ones that have already made their move onwards. But Burt is looking sensational. 87 to 93. I would argue with reasonable defending, he probably ought to be trained further back. Currently a CSS cam. The other arrival was a 30-year-old Lautaro Giannetti, 76 overall, obviously better than the other centre-backs that we have here. Marginal, of course, in Fulham and Nakamba. Nakamba is 75 rated, he is 76 rated, but it's certainly an improvement in that position. Any development plans were mostly about retaining capabilities rather than gaining anything. Whereas Kai's still only 26, and we'll make sure he's primarily left wing-back going forward and leave it there. So you have a bunch of people ready to go out on loan and a few transfer offers already in. We're just waiting for them to go really before we make any moves ourselves. And speaking of that as well, that is somebody on their way out. I like the fact we escort them to the door as if we're expecting them to do something stupid on their way out. That is the goalkeeper James Shea on a... I thought he was meant to be a pre-contract deal. Yes, he will do. He's still with us. I don't know why we had that. Salzburg want Corley Rodrigo for 1.2 million. He's worth 1.2 million. Arguably, we could get another 100,000, but quite frankly, I might just accept that as is. Bell, at 29, has agreed a 2.1 million sale to Brentford, which of course we will take. That was the other inbox item. So that's 2.1 million and 1.2. And this is Jake Berry leaving, I believe. Once again, being escorted. Like, I know the idea is to make it look like we're just kind of going, thank you for your time with us. We appreciate your help. Off you go. Enjoy your next adventure. But it does look like security. Narrated sale. We'll take that. Potts has agreed to Copenhagen at the end of the year as well. They were the 6-monthers. Celta Vigo want Adebayo for 5 million. I will accept the 1.2 for Woodrow as well from AZ Alkmaar and let him decide. I think because it's nowhere near the maximum, I will straight up reject that for now. He is a starting striker. So 3 million / 131,000, I think is the way that works now. It's no longer an either or. I miss the good old days of budget manipulation, where I think you dumped everything into wages, gave someone a ridiculous high wage, and then sold them. Or whatever the trick was, you ended with a massive amount of transfer budget the following year. And I believe it's Corley Woodrow. It's a shame. I think I've had a reasonable amount of use out of him in the kind of championship level on Football Manager. It's a shame he's not better in game. To Salzburg, he goes to 1.2. Best possible deal, 1.2. I mean, that's quite literally what they offered me. So obviously we'll do this at the end of the January window as well. But some big moves, clearly. I'm just trying to scout for young strikers that might be loanable. And I'm seeing Maximilian Bayer at Fulham and Evan Ferguson at West Ham. I mean, if anyone needed a striker, it's West Ham. So good on them for doing that. But I did say Brighton might lose some of their bigger players. Didn't expect this to happen immediately. And I'm guessing this is Luke Bell leaving as well. So this is the 2.1 million sale, if my memory serves. So funds created. We play Fulham momentarily. We need a B rating. Could have got more for him, apparently. 2.5. With Kai Wagner's arrival, then we had 4 left backs. And Bell also covered centre back, which we've already got another player in for anyhow. It's FA Cup action, but of course there's no real fixture congestion, so we're not going to rotate for it. It's against Fulham as well, of course, another Premier League side. We're going to give it our all. The further we go into this, obviously the better just for our manager's survival's sake. The less nonsense I may potentially have to deal with on a just admin level, the better, frankly. So it is the debut of Giannetti in defence, and we will likely see the debut of Wagner as well later in the game as a substitute. And that's Giannetti immediately in the action, clearing the ball away. Love to see that, by the way. Love to see that. Immediately making a difference, immediately doing the thing that he was brought in to do. It's always helpful, isn't it, really? Chavez. We'll get Giles. Giles is 77 rated, so he's technically better than Wagner as standard. But Wagner is a much better bench option than we had before. Sambi Lokonga. And Mr. Kabore. That's Sambi Lokonga again. Adebayo. So realistically, the positions we are looking for right now are ahead of Adebayo and ahead of Kabore realistically as well. Either that or Cam. Either one is fine. Obviously, long-term Tremblay looks to be the option there. But of course, for whichever one we manage to fill first and more proficiently, then Jesus Corona can work their way into the other one of those two positions, as he can do both eventually. The camera with a crucial challenge there. Charles with a lovely pass forward to Chavez. Inwards to Tecatito. We go. Sambi Lokonga. Of course, we need to work out that position as well because Lokonga is on loan. Obviously, right now, we've got Sanchez as well, but we're going to need depth. Right now, Sanchez is the depth. As of next season, that's not there. There's no Lokonga, of course. Those three sort of first-team options will become two, as Charles was offside there and ruined that attack. And of course, goalkeeper's the other one. Really, first and foremost, goalkeeper's the other one. He's done all right there. That was arguably more luck than judgment. But Kaminsky has made some questionable decisions in the recent episodes. That's Ogbene in, though. Ogbene's gone wide. He's still got it, and I don't know how he scored. I don't know how he's gotten away with that. He made an Adebayo-like mistake in his decision to run to the left the way that he did, but he got away with it. It was a bad touch there, I think. Does face through him, but the following touch works out lovely as he does, I guess that's Tosin, and then slams it past Leno. Okay, so it wasn't a poor decision, it was just a rough touch, but he recovered and recovered sensationally. Gotta be said. Why? Why is he so good? Ogbene at it again. Castagna. I'll be honest, until he came up on my radar FPL-wise recently, Castagna was one of those summer transfers that I genuinely had forgotten about. Just one of those players that ended up, in this case, at Fulham. And it's kind of like, yeah, he's at Fulham. Why wouldn't he be at Fulham? Oh, well, that's an equaliser. And there's Harry Wilson making the equaliser, though. And we've got it all to do again. We don't like to keep it easy, do we? This is obviously only one of 3 games today. So there is obviously that little bit more room for transfers. I'll only bring you the confirmations, though. Any negotiations and what have you, I'll keep to the background. Ogbene, back to Tecatito. That is rash and not immediately a red card somehow. It'll be a yellow, no doubt. No. No, it isn't. What? How is this not even a card? He has gone in studs up, caught the player, and not only is it not a red card, it's not even a yellow card. Shambolic from EAFC there. Shambolic. His holding free kick was terrible. Giannetti, though, forward to Tecatito. Good ball to Ogbene. That's immediately cut out by Castagna. And Willian is in the box. That's Wilson again. That's wide. Kaminsky to Hoof. And Hoof he does. Only as far as Tosin Adebayo. I'm sorry. Transfer confirmed. Ball day, Newcastle. I just want to make it clear, by the way, I put on strict transfers. Okay. I mean, I'm not complaining as a Newcastle fan, but that's a wild one. The game stuttered a bit there. That's on the game end, not your end. And it seemed to catch our defence out as well, somehow. As Donnell, he's got the number 51. I'm guessing he's not in the first team picture usually. 54, sorry. Slams it past Kaminsky. I mean, it's the same goal we see fairly often, but kind of again, Kaminsky just... obviously in the slow-mo, it does make it look slower than it was in real time. It was quite a hefty power shot, but even so, the save felt half-hearted. As it caught him off guard, even though Donald was in acres of space and the shot was obviously about to happen. Lockyer. Team captain, arguably with Kaminsky. Probably after Kaminsky, let's put it that way. Ogbene. I mean, Leno's not covered himself in glory there either. It's like he saw Kaminsky's failure, went, you know what, I feel bad about that one. Let's even it up a bit. I don't know how he saw from the other end of the pitch, but yeah. To be fair, Kaminsky was bad. Leno's worse. This should have been saved any day of the week. But we'll take it. We'll take it. But yes, it is a shame that Lockyer is essentially the number 2 behind Kaminsky in the line to be replaced. Because he's 74 rated and not particularly quick. Adebayo at least has the 74 rating and seems vaguely competent, even if he can never make the right decision to save his life. He is functional for now. Improving Lockyer's position would be a bigger benefit to the team overall, I think, than Adebayo. But I feel like Adebayo would be the easier one to deal with. Getting a young, quick striker with reasonable composure and what have you. But yeah, Kaminsky might be numero uno here. It's a shame. I really wanted to give him time, but as a summer signing, it feels harsh. Well, that's a lovely ball to Takatito. Ream composed enough not to give the penalty away there. And once again, we are suffering from a very poor, relatively, pass accuracy. Fulham's was 96%, which is insane. As was that shot, and Kabori's decision to run off the field with the ball. What? Why are they congratulating Kaminsky? He had no involvement in that. It hit the post and then went out. So I think Fulham have basically just taken off all of their rotation options now and brought on actual first-team players, which is scary when you think about it. This will go to a replay, of course, if the scoreline stays as is, so if we could score or concede a goal, that would be great. Frankly, I'd rather have the less fixtures. And somehow we seem to be worse at home as well. So, Kabori's mugged off Leno. Actually, it was like the AI moved the keeper too far there. Ogbene's follow-up shot was off target. Goal kick. Literally, those players will be on for this last action, and that is that. 4 minutes of extra time, though. So we might get an attack and a counter-attack, or give it away for give Fulham a second attack. No, Giannetti keeps the ball. This will be just one attack from us now. Sambi Lokonga, Ogbene will play in Barkley. Barkley will not get the ball through. He wonders why he's not starting. Replay it is. In fairness, Huddersfield held Liverpool there. No, I didn't ask for a 2-year loan for Matt Tremblay. At the same time, I am fascinated to see what the end date of this transfer would be. Managed to get Cambridge to agree to a short-term loan with Carson Riley, however, after they wanted to initially loan to buy, and then 2 years. Did this one in person to see if it would make a difference rather than delegating it. I managed to get him on a short-term loan, so I just want to see what the end dates are on these. So he would be back on January the 1st, 2026. I can't recall him at any time. This was more a fact-finding situation for me. So short-term loan is what I want to do just to get him to the end of the season then. But I'll leave him out on loan until he's good enough, really. Well, I tried to push this deal as hard as I could off the bat. They offered me 1.7. I counted with £500,000 more, which of course, basically a third more. And they went, yeah, fine. And Banzu, who literally just signed a new contract because he was out of contract at the end of the year, will be going for 2.2 million. Sad to see him go. He is 71 rated. Everything's set up and ready as we head to Turf Moor. That does say Premier League top scorer for Ogbene. I did forget to double check that last time out. I will remember after this. In our away kit, inexplicably. Not quite sure how the orange clashes, but never mind. Adebayo does a thing and scores. I have started looking at an array of positions with an array of young talent to maybe loan. I did try to loan Ekatike off PSG as he is still in the game. My version for some reason. Couldn't agree on a wage split. So Adebayo gets a stay of temporary execution on that regard. Looking at other options though, maybe permanent ones. For now, Adebayo needs to do something like that to keep him from the chopping block. Sudakov had the run on the outside, didn't take it. You know, for a gegenpressing team, not doing much pressing, are we? Chilinov, Cullen, Cork. It's Chilinov again. And that is a tackle by Nakamba, which remains in the Burnley possession because of course it does. Block by Giannetti. Same lineup as last game. Cork, Cullen, Coutinho. It's remained in Burnley possession this entire time. Despite them having a shot and being tackled, it's still in their possession and it's still Kaminsky doing a baffling save. It was straight at him. I don't know how he's palmed it out like that. A great ball to Adebayo. I'm not even sure even he was expecting it, to be honest. The way that he kind of got confused once he had the ball. Kabori does the number 44 back there. Egan Riley heads clear for now. Sambi Lokonga, Chavez will find Takatito. Muric saves. Giles to put this ball in. And does so. Straight to Chilinov. I'm going to ask this question again. Why do we never take short corners? There's no way to tell the AI to do that, as far as I can tell. Coutinho out to Amdouni. Trezor sort of out of space, but then it quickly vanished thanks to Lockyer and Giles. For no reason does that. The ball's come off Lockyer anyway. He's going out for a corner regardless. I can see what he's trying to do. He just does it shambolically, I guess. If he managed to get there in time, he could have hooked it out for the throw-in. As it is, it's now a corner to them, of course, which are always dangerous at the best of times. And second phase corner, it's another good shot. It's another corner. Second phase of this next corner, Chilinov tackled Adebayo. Ogbene, who has literally no help yet. Now he does, and can take it. Somebody Lokonga chooses the wrong option. Sudakov is allowed to just walk between the two midfielders and then the defender. There is so much wrong about the build-up to that goal that I don't know if it's accurately simulated incompetence or incompetently simulated full stop. Because he gets close to the two midfielders and then the two midfielders just go like that away from him. And then he gets close to the defence and then the defender just goes like that past him. Like none of them actually go towards him, which is weird. Ball's played in. That's not going to get to Ogbene. Will fall to Sambi Lokonga on the edge of the box. Chavez back to Sambi. Probably will go to Kabori here. He does. Shields the ball temporarily and then tries to kick it to Sambi Lokonga, even though the Delcroix has not moved. Yeah, I'm kind of glad Kabori's only alone. I know he's got decent potential, so maybe he'll grow out of that. But I've never seen a man kick a ball at another player so often. Like, Adebayo just makes the wrong decision all the time. Kabori just kicks it at the opponent every time. It's just the same wrong decision every time. At least Adebayo mixes it up by doing different wrong things. Kaminsky with a good save. This is still the first half, even though it's the 50th minute. You confused me for a moment too. Just kick the ball! Thank you. There's no need to be fancy with it in the 51st minute of the first half. Just end of the half, lads. Sambi Lokonga, we're back to 46. We've done the time warp. Chavez has been tackled by Sudakov. We have been worryingly bad here. Not gonna lie. Apart from the goal, literally not seen anything from us. I think there was one Tecatito chance and that's been it really. Oki's stepped up and failed. Chelanov has got round Nakamba and scored. You see what I mean about incompetence. For a game whose attacking intelligence is the thing that's typically lacking, this is appalling from Marvellous Nakamba, followed from the previous appalling defensive behaviour from Lockyer. And he did that thing where he vaguely wafts towards an opposing player and then doesn't stick a foot in at all. Like Cork does there. Giles comes forward. Still Giles. It's a decent ball to Adebayo. For once does the right thing and gives it back to Giles as he kind of got tripped up with his own feet there for a moment. Tecatito to put this ball in. Ogbene will be under it. It's a decent save by Muric actually that was going in. Ogbene did well to get that on target and threateningly on target. Sudakov, which I was going to sounded like a drug of some kind, but he has scored, so I can't really mock him. And Nesri's going to Villa. Do Villa need strikers? Does that make John Duran available, I wonder? I might keep an eye on that then, as Amdouni goes through the back of my player and doesn't get penalised for it in any way, shape or form, because I think he does actually get the ball. But could have been dangerous. Edge of the box, Cork. Kaminsky palms it into the sky. Anyone else finding that goalkeepers just don't claim the ball anywhere near enough? Burnley in possession again. I'll be honest, if we don't win this game, this is going to be a very disappointing episode because how is that not a foul? I'm sorry, what happens off the ball here mars this goal? I generally don't think Burnley have scored a goal out of their own good play because the two goals prior to this are defensive incompetence / bad simulation, defending-wise. And then that one, Tom Lockyer is tripped up off the ball and doesn't get a foul for it, as we make 5 substitutions to try and change this game. Our good form away from home last game has utterly evaporated. It's Doherty on this right-hand side. Doherty puts it to the back post. Vitinho will clear that, naturally, and it falls, of course, to a Burnley player. Sudakov. Yeah, we're not getting back into this, are we? They're just holding on to the ball now. They're doing rat tactics. I don't know why. Oh, they are coming forward, at least. I generally thought they were about to pass it around the back for the 10 minutes. Nakamba and Panzu. See, lads, this is how you gegenpress. You actually put the opponent under pressure. That does fall to Ogbene. It's a good ball to... Yeah, okay. Well, he might be clinical in front of goal, but the passing is a little bit lacking there. Sudakov options out this left-hand side. He doesn't take it. Or the right-hand side, for that matter. There was a decent run there too. Cork. Sudakov does seem to be a bit reluctant to give away the ball sometimes, I've noticed in this game. Not that it matters. They're winning 3-1. Cork. Like, he waits until he has run out of literal space before he actually does finally give up on whatever he's trying to do. Wagner will get the ball forward, but I suspect time will be called. It is. Well, in a way, I'm glad that third goal didn't make a difference to the overall result. If we got one back, I'd be more annoyed, weirdly. So 7 million in the budget as things stand. We could certainly do something with it. That's another one of the youngsters we got on a short-term loan to Gillingham now. Yeah, having to do them manually. That's Pelliroda and Panzu's outbound to Southampton. Highest sale of the window somehow. That genuinely was the best possible deal. I almost did it by accident. The replay came quicker than I thought it did, and a lot of our players are too tired to actually start this game. Sambi Lokonga to Doherty. Turns inside. We'll get Morris in. He's onside. It's a goal. Nice play, actually, as his armpit is breathing apparently. But gets ahead of Tim Ream. Tim Ream's age showing. In game there. Fulham corner. It's Kearney over it. Into the box it goes. Headed clear to a Fulham player because, of course, Kearney is onside, having recovered from the corner somehow. And smashes it in through Kaminsky. That is shambolic from Kaminsky. Not fully certain how he remained onside when he was returning from a corner, but nonetheless, yeah, just smashes it at him. And Kaminsky, if anything, is the one who puts it in the net, really. It's not great. Chavez with a burst of pace on this left-hand side. Finds the ball into the box. Almos Ali under it. Immediately we retake the lead. The two forgotten strikers, realistically. both on the score sheet today. Ali, of course, we brought in his early striking backup, and is Ogbene the one that's kind of taken his role in proceedings. But if he can score a goal like this when it matters, he might re-enter the picture somewhat, because I am questioning Adebayo, of course. It'd be weird if our best two strikers are the 71s. A bit of unfortunate just bouncing there. Ball falls to Lukic. Kearney forward to Vinicius. Vinicius turns Lockyer. Committed again. Kearney's got the space. It's another equaliser. Why do I feel like every goal we concede inevitably comes from Lockyer committing to something he shouldn't? Because Lockyer committing then forces Osho to commit to the player that's beaten Lockyer and then leaves the space open for Kearney. It's kind of a chain reaction of committing to the player. It's extra time. Brown for literally his only appearance of the season so far. Giles. Still Giles. Ball falls to the edge of the box and Sanchez. Sanchez saved. If we now win this could actually be the worst case scenario because we'll play 5 games and an extra time in one of them. The ball is played through to Barkley. Barkley backwards to Adebayo. That's 3-2. We're getting celebrations as if we've won the game. There's 10 minutes still to play. Cameraman, calm down, please. It's good play, though. It is good play. Barkley finds Adebayo. Adebayo takes one touch, puts it on his right, and then smashes it far side. This is arguably the best attacking play that Adebayo has actually done so far. Sets himself up and finishes. 3 strikers, 3 goals. Just need Brown to get in the action to make it 4 out of 4. Ogbene not even on the bench for this ball, and I realise that's kind of an error more than anything. Accidental, not deliberate, as time is now up. It's Millwall in the cup. It doesn't give us a lot of time against Brighton, so we will rotate for that. So same deal here at home to Millwall. My captain Tam Lockyer is getting upset at the fact that we've not signed any players yet. I'm trying. My scouts take forever to actually get scout reports back. Barkley to come forward. Wagner. Back to Barkley. Almos. Barkley in. There's Wagner. Plays it off to Brown. There's the 4 out of 4. Not in the same game, but it's nice all 4 of them have scored. Of course, if we were to bring in a striker, then we would move on. Brown. Which feels a bit harsh to say after he's just scored, but we should realistically get most of the scout reports in. Some of them might miss the deadline, annoyingly, and we might have to just best guess it. But you know, we're looking at a lot of players who might be better than our players. It's a relatively long list. I'm not in a position where I can go, well, is he 80? Is he 81? Is he 82? No, they're all in like the mid-70s ballpark with hopefully potential. So there's quite a lot on that list because we don't know what their potentials are realistically. I've had a nosy around, of course, but working out which ones are actually good fit attribute-wise, playstyle-wise, etc. and so forth. Clark, Doherty, Brown, Doherty again. Almos smashes it at Wallace. Still in possession with him, though. Barkley's turn. That's 2. Yeah, a little bit of futile smashing it at defenders, but thankfully it bounces, fortunately, and we make the most of it. Through Barkley. That's 2. Looking a little bit more comfortable. If this was FM, I'd say it was a lovely morale-boosting game to get us back on track. I presume winning, since they do have a morale system here, does also affect things here. And will get us to the next round of the FA Cup, which would be great objective-wise, since I think they won last 16. Corner late in the second half for Luton Town. Luton Town, Chavez, it's a goal. I don't know why I full named us. I don't know who the goal scorer is. It is Chavez, yes, wasn't it? Yes. Rare occasion, really, actually. But Chavez actually literally just on for the final few minutes, just to make sure there is fitness across the squad before we play Brighton in a few days' time. Really good corner goal. But that's really been the only chance of the second half. There was a good shot that obviously just led to that corner. That's it. That was the first proper shot on goal. And that was in the 85th minute. And realistically, no matter what happens now, I think we're fine. Despite the fact Millwall looking dangerous now, this is their best chance and they've scored. It might be their only shot. I genuinely think this might be their only shot of the game. And they scored it. It's Krul in goal. Can't really be too surprised. I love Tim Krul. He's 71 rated. For a reason now. I just really need him to go to Lincoln to complete the trifecta of my family teams. Osher clears that, and that'll end the game. 3-1, we progress to the 5th round. Well then, I'm trying to fleece Sparta Prague here for Martin Vitic. I'm trying to go for transfers that feel vaguely sensible in terms of where they're going to be coming from. Only important as a squad role is surprising. I'll accept that without any questions. I'm actually genuinely fine with that wage. Apparently he turns up immediately. Hello. £6 million with a 5% sell-on. Got them down from 17% on that. She's really good business. Best possible deal was 5.3 apparently. After saying I wanted to keep everyone fresh for this Brighton game as best as I could, even the rotation bench options, I then forgot to actually rest them. Who is on the Luton Tifo? Can I have focus on that, please? Stop showing the crowd. We had a Tifo up for some reason. Who is it? Nope, it's not going to show me it. Oh, it teased me at the end there. Vitic isn't sharp enough to start this game. We do still have Giannetti starting along with Lockyer and Nakamba in that back line. Chavez will start this game despite being a little bit tired just because he's got the press proven on him and I want to make the most of it. Nakamba intercepts that and Sambi Lokonga forward to Ogbene back in for the first time in 2 games. He's had a lovely little rest, has Chiadozi. Gabore smacks it past to Stupinian. Tecatito will just give it to Webster and Lallana's now on the ball. We do, alongside Martin Vitic, who is a permanent transfer, have an incoming striking loan. I have made a deal with someone a little bit by accident. I went to renegotiate the wages and then accidentally just said yes. So we're going to be paying way too many wages for this person. But I'll let the cutscene reveal that afterwards. Gilmore scored. I think the graphics just showed Brighton had one of the worst away records as they were scoring. Right, so what was the shambles here? Giannetti out of position, I guess. Chavez. Ogbene. That's Tecatito now. Brighton playing back to Webster. Stupinian tries to turn Gabore. That doesn't work. Giannetti, I thought was about to be dispossessed. Gabore marches forward. Plays it to Gilmore. Tries again. I said earlier, I've never known a player to kick a ball to the opponent more than Gabore. It's not even when he's in the final third trying to put the cross in. It's there as well as... I don't know what happened there either from Giles, I assume that was. Kaminsky there to save. We are going to have to stick with Kaminsky, I think, because we don't have the funds to bring in a new goalkeeper. Unless I loan one randomly, like Keylor Navas to Forest last year. Actually, is Keylor Navas available? Part of the objectives, none of the objectives, of course, board-wise, are actually critical for Luton. But one of the objectives was use all of the transfer budget, and I've not used all of the transfer budget. I think the loan that's coming in will use the majority of the remaining wage budget, so maybe that's there, but there actually might be an opportunity to loan a goalkeeper in for the remainder of this season. And I think that's probably the right call. Loan one in and then buy one in the summer. It's either that for the striker or the goalkeeper, I guess. We just cannot keep hold of the ball in this game. I say as if that was even lost kind of through passing to someone. It just bounced off Lockyer and bounced to Lallana. Adingra, unnecessary, mate. Ferreira's in all of the space. I don't know how he's got that much space. Lallana to put this ball in. Giles heads it wide. Chavez does get that ball off them. Plays it back to Giles. Keeps it in just about. And gets it to Chavez for full measure there. Ogbene's not offside because there's another player that we couldn't see briefly. But then he gives the ball away to Webster. It's nice they take turns to give the ball away. It's not the same person doing it every time. Small mercies, I guess. All dinked out wide. That is shambolic from that defender there. Adebayo chests it to Gilmore. This is what I mean. Like, it doesn't even matter how we're losing the ball. We just keep doing it somehow. Dahoud still at Brighton. Ferreira. Back to Dahoud. Back to Ferreira. Player's been sucked in. It's 2-0. Literally every time I see a player step forward, we concede a goal. They're not on step forward. None of them are on step forward. But it's Giannetti's turn to do it. Giannetti's not even in the right place. I don't know how. For some reason, Giannetti and Nakamba had swapped sides in my centre-back positions. Don't know how. Don't know why. That's the slowest ball removal I've ever seen. And Chavez messes it up twice in one move there. Good work, Chavez. 80 rated my arse. Buonanotte pops the ball in. Giannetti gathers it. That's unnecessarily passing around the back, but we've made the most of it somehow. Giles, irrelevant. It's half-time. Chavez, Adebayo, Ogbene has split that defence, but as Stupinan's quicker. Ogbene's back in, though. Adebayo. It forces a save out of Verbruggen, and I think that might be the first one we've had. It's nice to see the flare leaving the pitch. Adingra off, and oh no, that's Ansu Fati, isn't it? His name's not come up on the board or anything. That's Ansu Fati. Tecatito. I think we could do with a loan randomly like that. Although I don't think he's necessarily been sensational for Brighton this year. I think he's been injured, naturally. So we are in danger of Brighton becoming our bogey team, because for whatever reason, we just can't play against them. Got smashed away from home on the first day of the season. And we're getting smashed here as one of the easiest to save headers I've ever seen in my life still escapes Kaminsky's grasp. Like, he could not have headed that with less power if we tried, really. I don't know if in the moment that seemed tamer than it was, but it's just gone under him. It's just gone under him. It's not. It's rough viewing. No matter how slow the slow-mo is, it's rough going. And to make things worse, Chavez is off for Sanchez, so one of our best players is off the field because he's now too tired. Giles. Of course, there's still an array of Mexican free agents if we wanted to pick them up. The Bournemouth score just popping up in the right-hand corner just reminded me of one of the weirder transfers I've seen. It won't probably be on the highest transfers list that we will have a look at after the deadline day's over. Dominic Solanke's gone to Girona. Ferreira's in again. It's 4. We cannot play Brighton. No point watching that replay. It's the goal that we've conceded 14 times this year. Well, calendar year. The ball was once again aimlessly hoofed forward, and now it's Ansu Fati the one to do the counter-attack. Although he's gone back to Webster, Gilmore, and Van Heck. I don't know if I pronounced it like that, but Gilmore again. Gilmore in the middle. Still Gilmore. Can someone stop him? Dahoud. Estupinian just waltzes around Kabore. Giles. Pass accuracy actually 90% apparently today. It's all well and good actually connecting passes if you don't do anything with them. Adebayo. Tekatito. Has Kabore for help. Plays it to Ogbene. It's a good ball. It's only the second shot of the game I think we've had. Stays in play. Estupinian gathers. Bournemouth apparently don't need Solanke. Ryan Christie scores the third over there. Considering West Ham their opponent, I'll just say this as well. I did consider Michael Antonio for the loanee. I saw they brought in a striker, of course. I figured Antonio is the, I think, second best striker they have now. Might be a good option to loan in. Still probably has pace in the game and all that jazz. Could be what we want. No, he's retiring at the end of the year and apparently he can't loan those kind of players. He's only 33 and he's retiring at the end of the year. Of course. I mean, this is pathetic. I thought Ansu Fati was offside there, but that's 5. This is the worst defeat we've had all year. I actually thought this one was being wiped out, but who plays Ansu Fati on? It's Giannetti. The right centre-back is just 1 yard behind everyone else for no explainable reason. Oh, and now the substitution. Sorry, was the ball genuine play for 25 minutes there? Shambles. Deadline day is here and our striker is here. Yep, that's a recognisable face. We are paying way too many wages for this. We've agreed 60-40. It was a mistake. I tried to do 40-60, which even then would have been a lot. But for some reason, Erik ten Hag was the only person to allow a striker to go on loan. I had complications with contract length remaining, people who are running out of contract at the end of the year and just straight up won't allow them to happen. So, as I said in the previous episode, Antonio wouldn't go, Callum Wilson wouldn't come, Danny Ings I decided against. I can't remember if they actually allowed him to come either. But 6-month loan. This is my situation goalkeeper-wise. I have all of these goalkeepers shortlisted. Sergio Rico's contract is up at the end of the year, so he can't be loaned. And they won't loan out Keylor Navas, even though he was literally out on loan last year. Ortega's contract is too short for the club to consider letting him go out on loan. Kelleher's not good enough, I don't think. So we're in a spot of bother. We basically used the budget though, so I'm kind of happy with it. We never really got an influx of transfer bids for players that I actually want to sell. So the goalkeeper situation, literally none of them have either a contract long enough for me to sign them, or they're retiring, or the club don't want to loan them out, or they've just joined. So literally all the ones that are better than Kaminsky that are not first team already, therefore I didn't bother shortlisting. What a dumb situation. We can look at the biggest transfers, and that's a massive one off the bat for my purposes. Guimaraes to Chelsea of all teams. Robertson to PSG, Hakimi to Arsenal, Balde in at Barcelona. The day before Guimaraes left, I would have thought that happened the other way around financially. Mikel Merino makes his way to PSG. Mendes to Man City. I suppose they don't have an out-and-out proper left-back. John Stones, though, to Napoli. Sancho to Leipzig. Like I say, the original squads. Ayathabel to Liverpool, as if they need any more wingers. Nico Williams to Inter. Immobile to Real Madrid. Nico Gonzalez to Newcastle. That would be a decent signing in real life. Moreno to Man United. Actual striker up front. Maybe that's why they were running to let Martial go. Alaba to Spurs. And Nesri to Villa. John Durano isn't good enough, by the way. I did look that one up. David to Miletico. Simakan to Monaco. Iglesias to Spurs, we saw that one. Acuna to Arsenal. So they now have a new left-back and right-back. Morata to Milan. Emre Can to PSG. How many midfielders does PSG need? Pepe to Atlanta, that is. Thierry to Marseille. Avielli to Wolfsburg. Smith Rowe to Fiorentina. Pereiro to Newcastle. That'll solve the Guimaraes problem. Ben White to Arsenal for only 26 million. That's cheap. Rafa Mir to Palace. Ben Yedder to Inter. Trippier to Barcelona. I mean, that's a good cash in from Newcastle's point of view, but I'm not sure what their replacement is. Balde's a left back, but can play right back, I guess, might be the solve. So all Fiorentina. Seen them a few times for some reason. Brentford get Brian Gill. Smalling to Atletico. Matty Cash to Freiburg. Tomiyasu to Stade Rennais. Batterina to Dortmund. Paraguay. Scalvini to Atletico. He was on my shortlist. I knew that one happened. Taylor to Antwerp. Sudakov to Burnley was a transfer, actually. Orsolini to Monaco. Danny Carvajal to Newcastle. That is the solve. So they sold Trippier for 23 million and bought Carvajal for 18, who's 1 year younger. Is that good business from Newcastle? I wish we had the funds to do transfers like this, because Calvert-Lewin, solid player, 18 million to Frankfurt in-game. Neto to Valencia, same situation, 17 million. Lazari to Palace for 16 million. Just got the youth report course as well. I might as well do it now. 1.2 million for Noah Harris, yes. Scout the others. Harris, 64 rated left wing, left mid. 29 defending. Decent shooting. His passing isn't amazing. His passing is marginally worse than his shooting. His dribbling is marginally better than his passing as well. Is he a striker for our system? If we were going to use him, I think we convert him to a striker, and it'll take 2 weeks. Despite everything, we ought to have a look at the standings. This month's results have made things a bit awkward. Our success in the FA Cup came at the expense of poor form in the league. In fact, I believe that's no points in the league in this episode. Only the 2 league games, but unfortunately, teams like Chelsea, Everton and Burnley have picked up points. Brentford too, for that matter, have picked up massive points. They're now ahead of us. So only 2 points to the drop. This is more of the position I was expecting to be in. Sheffield United won a game. 1 second. Before we go, they beat Crystal Palace away from home on the 30th of January as we were flailing against Brighton. Now, Burnley lost actually, of course, the big one. But that's it. Can Martial save our season? Because it is getting sketchier. We've conceded 50 goals. Sorry, is that the highest? Yeah, that's the highest. Burnley have conceded 45. Ogbene's still capable of scoring. Obviously didn't in the last one, but still scored 2 in the first 2 games and 2 out of the 3 that he played in. Martial as a strike partner instead of the indecisive Adebayo, shall we say. But following our transfer window, this is the line for the rest of the season. Our new signings as centre-back Giannetti and Vitic will start. Giles will be ahead of Wagner for the time being at left-back, they're both 77 rated. And of course, Martial will start up top for the remainder of his loan. Ogbene, 5-star weak foot, 98 pace when he's happy, might explain some of his prowess there. I've now noticed that. Well, that's that. It has brought an injection of pace into this squad, which is desperately needed, particularly in that defensive line. We'll see how that fares out next time out. But thank you for joining me. Probably a bit of a bumper episode. Apologies. If you enjoyed it, do like and subscribe. Until next time, ta-ra.